Okay, everyone, we're about to get started. If we can silence our cell phones, close the side and back doors, I'd greatly appreciate it. Okay, good evening, everyone. We are on the record. Today is Monday, the 24th day of November in the year 2025. This is a City Council caucus meeting of the Jersey City Municipal Council. We had a scheduled 4 p.m. start. The clock on my cell phone is showing 4:05 p.m. May we have a roll call for the commencement of this caucus? Councilperson Ridley.
Here.
Councilperson Hewlings will not be here. Councilperson Baggiano. Councilperson Soleil is not here yet. Councilperson Solomon is not here yet. Councilperson Gilmore. Councilperson DeGise is not here. Councilperson Rivera. And Council President Waterman. Okay. We have 5 council members in attendance at 4:05 p.m. On behalf of Council President Waterman and the members of the Municipal Council, in accordance with New Jersey Public Laws of 1975, Chapter 231, the Open Public Meetings Act, also known as the Sunshine Law, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the posting on the bulletin board of the first floor of City Hall, the annual notice, which is the schedule of meetings and caucuses of the Municipal Council for the calendar year 2025, and filed in the office of the City Clerk on Friday, November 15th, 2024. In addition, at its time of its preparation, the agenda of this meeting was similarly disseminated on Friday, November 21st, 2025 at 5:05 p.m. to the mayor, municipal council, business administrator, corporation council, and the local newspapers, and posted on the city's website, so I can certify as to our total compliance with the Sunshine Law. Council members, before we start our caucus meeting, we do have a special announcement from the Director of Employees Benefits, Khadija McNair. Would you please come up and give us our insight and what we need to do before the deadline?
Good evening, City Council. So as my God, Sean just mentioned, I'm sorry. I don't have any resolutions to present, but I do want to make sure that everyone is aware of the dependent eligibility audit that the city is currently going through. As some of you may know, that the city is going through a dependent eligibility audit to audit those individuals that are currently enrolled in the city's plan on the medical, the dental, and the prescription plan. This is pertaining to anyone that have a spouse or dependent child or children on the plan. Just to give you a little bit background, according to the plan rules, in order for a dependent child or spouse to remain on the plan, you have to be legally married. And for children, you under the age of 26 to remain on the medical and the prescription plan, and you have to be under the age of 19 to remain on the dental plan. If you are over the age of 19 concerning a dental plan, you have to be enrolled as a full-time student, and you must show proof that you are a full-time student. The city has never gone through a dependent eligibility audit. This is the very first time. And it's important, as we know, that everything is rising, right? Food, health insurance. And one way to control the cost is to make sure that we remove those who are no longer eligible to remain on the plan. We sent out several notices. It stemmed back a couple of months ago. And we're approaching the deadline, which is today. We may extend it again just to give those who are kind of trickling in and providing documentation who may be having trouble uploading the information to the secure portal. They are also providing their documents directly to our office, and we are forwarding those same documents to the secure portal as well. But I did wanted to give you a heads up that you may receive phone calls. Again, we are working with those individuals who are kind of slow with the process. But again, I just wanted to give you a heads up. Any questions? Of course. Enjoy your holiday.
And just to add that real quickly, if you have any constituents that reach out to you, feel free to direct them to Kajita's office. They're more than happy to accommodate them, take care of them. I don't want you guys to be caught off guard by anything in case you get those phone calls. Thank you.
Okay, Council President, before I turn it over to you, I just want to mark Councilperson DeGise present at 4:07 PM. So we now have 6 council members present.
Good evening, President Waterman, members of the council. I have 10 items before you this afternoon. First is item 10, number 18, 25-745. Resolution will authorize the award of a contract to Foley Power Systems for the purchase of a 2025 Caterpillar Model 950 GC wheel loader through the Sourcewell Purchasing Co-op. Total amount of this purchase is $266,945, and the funds are available in the DPW capital account. Next item is 1019, 25-746. Resolution will authorize the award of a contract to W. Campbell and Supply Company for heavy-duty parts and repairs as needed for city-owned vehicles through the New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Alliance. Total cost of this contract is $100,000, which is available in the DPW division, Automotive Division operating account. Next item, 1020, the resolution will authorize the award of a contract to Northeast Auto and Truck Part LLC for the purchase and delivery of fluids and lubricants for the city's vehicle fleet. Total cost of this contract is $500,000, which is available in the DPW Automotive Division operating account. Next item, 1021, 25-748, resolution will authorize the award of a contract to City Auto and Truck Parts LLC for parts and maintenance of heavy-duty vehicles under the Sourcewell Purchasing Co-op. Total cost of this contract is $700,000, and funds are available in the DPW Automotive Division operating account. Next item, 1022, resolution will authorize the award of a contract to F&S Tire Corporation Incorporated for the purchase and delivery of various tires for city-owned vehicles on the New Jersey State contract. Total cost of the contract is $350,000, which is available in the DPW Automotive Division operating account. 1023, a resolution will authorize the award of a contract to Verizon Connect Fleet USA LLC for the purchase of GPS tracking subscriptions for city-owned vehicles through the Sourcewell Purchasing Co-op. Total amount of this contract is $414,625 and is available in the Department of Public Works Division of Automotive operating account. 1024, resolution will authorize the award of contract to Sherwin-Williams for the purchase and delivery of paint and related supplies through the Educational Services of New Jersey through the DPW Division of Buildings and Streets. Total amount of the contract is $225,000, and funds are available in the DPW Buildings and Streets Division operating account. 1025-752, the resolution will authorize the award of a contract to Jewel Supply for various electrical supplies on the New Jersey State contract for the DPW Division of Buildings and Streets. Total amount of the contract is $140,000. The funds are available in the DPW Division of Buildings and Streets operating account. 1026, 25-753, resolution will authorize the award of a contract to Carasoft Technology Corporation for the purchase of the Gray Key Magnetic Forensics USA model GKL-ONF-PR-1195 software for the Department of Public Safety Cyber Crimes Unit. Total amount of the contract is $55,960.80 and is funded by the 2024 UASI grant account.
Hey, Greg, with regards to this software, I would imagine that the only phones that will be allowed to be gone in are ones that have been approved via search warrant and things.
Correct. Yeah. And it usually not 100% for the most part, Council, but it'll come in under a warrant and also used in criminal investigations.
Oh, okay.
And the last item is 1032, 25-759. This resolution will ratify a contract award to Nadler Mobile LLC for the lease of modular trailers that currently serve as the East District Police Facility. Total amount of this contract is $66,864, which is available in the Department of Public Safety operating account.
Greg, I know last time when we talked about this, the last extension was supposed to have been the last one. Do we have an update on exactly where we at?
Unfortunately, there's no updates, Councilman. The last, this was called in this afternoon if I would handle this particular item. I'm not aware if the construction has started or what the status is as of this point.
Greg, they haven't done nothing with the precinct at 207 7th Street.
It's not as far as I'm aware of, Council.
That's a shame, a real shame what they've done. And how long has that been closed? About a year and a half?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. What an embarrassment for this city. I had mold when I was working there, and I'm still alive. You know, the mold issues, Greg, we worked there in the 70s. They had mold in the building then.
They said it's a.
And, you know, like, what a joke. That's a beautiful building. The back of that building goes back to the early 1800s. That's attached to another building. And they're probably going to sell it to some developer who's going to ruin it.
Well, there was when we did the initial investigation, it was considerable amount of asbestos and mold. So that's why, for safety reasons, we had to close the districts down.
Yeah, I had them in the 70s for the mold. And the guy came in with a rag and wiped the wall and said the mold's gone. And we worked there for another 25 years. And nobody died and nobody got sick.
Yeah,
Such BS.
claim it.
I did some time down there too, Rich. Okay, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Yeah. Get our precinct open, Greg.
Good evening, Council President, member of council. I have 4 resolutions this evening. First one is Resolution 25-754, item 10.27. It's a resolution authorizing an agreement with Network Management Solutions Incorporated for providing maintenance and support services for the Department of Public Safety for computer infrastructure and related systems without public bidding. This is our annual contract for our engineering services, and it's for 48 locations. And as you know, we're open every day, 24/7.
Is there any way we can, I didn't see, is there an itemized breakdown of the 400? An itemized breakdown?
Yeah, there should have been a contract
I didn't-
doing exactly that with the full resolution.
Okay, I'll double check. I didn't see it when I first looked.
They're doing the computers, they're doing switches, they're doing my microwave, you know.
They doing your
anything that
microwave?
Yes, microwave, we back up. If Verizon goes down, public safety can't go down. We have 3 ways of getting information back and forth. They maintain it all. For me to do this in-house, I would have to hire 4 engineers at $190,000 each, pay for their benefits, and also for all their training for certifications, you know, and whatnot, and sick. This is all it cost me. If somebody's sick, I call and say, I need an engineer, and bang, it's there.
It's done.
Second one is Resolution 25-758. It's item 10.31. It's a resolution ratifying the award of a contract to Cellco Partnership, DBA, Verizon Wireless for mobile, cellular, voice, and data services under state contract for the Department of Public Safety, Division of Communication and Technology. This was actually part 2. Part 1 you didn't see. We switched from AT&T wireless to Verizon wireless, and it took us 10 months to complete this because we're, you know, 1,300 phones out there, every vehicle, fire, police, you know, that has a SIM chip in it had to be replaced. Looking back at what we did last year, we spent $767,000 with AT&T. Right now, it looks like I'm finishing this year with $572,000, about $194,000 less. We'll be talking more about that probably at the next meeting as the resolutions come through.
Okay.
Next one. Resolution 25-760, it's item 10.33. Resolution ratifying a contract to Gold Type Business Machines for providing maintenance and support services for the Department of Public Safety. It covers all land computers, the NCIC 2000, which is the National Criminal Check, and without public bidding. It's in the amount of $366,024. These are my field personnel. These are the people who are out there visiting each site and working on the computers, programming, writing scripts. And again, Councilman, it saves me the money of having these people in-house and doing the same thing. They are highly trained, they're certified and stuff. And it's, I said, we really have a great team. Last but not least, Resolution 25-761, item 10.34. And it's a resolution authorizing a contract award to Gold Type Business Machines for the support and maintenance of the Vigilant Automatic License Plate Reader System for the Department of Public Safety without public bidding. And as you know, those are the cameras that are out there when we're looking for a plate or something happens. I believe I gave you a report last year showing how many hits we get, a day. It's a vital system to public safety. Thank you. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Good afternoon, everybody. First item is ordinance 25-119. I believe it's agenda number 4.2. Second reading ordinance repurposing various capital improvement funding. Essentially what we're doing, as I mentioned last caucus, is consolidating numerous capital accounts into 8 different categories with more broad descriptions to allow us some more flexibility with spending on the event projects go over or under budget. We now have the ability to continue to spend on these purposes without coming to council again to repurpose to new projects with
This is where they're transferring money like from Persian Field and everything to other places.
if there's any money currently allocated towards a project like Pershing Field, it's just being bunched together for general building improvements. So the funds would still be available for something like that. This is just to provide more,
Be honest with you.
spending.
This should be tabled and we should meet and this should be discussed.
I mean, I guess, Kyle, my issue with this in a nutshell is that while the intent may be to do these projects still, right now, there's a specific line item dedicated to specific things, i.e. the reservoir, Arlington Park, and a bunch of different parks. When we put it into a general fund, from a legal perspective, right, there's no guarantee that that area where that money was once allocated for is going to be addressed. So I guess my question to you and to the administration, what is the purpose of doing it this way versus leaving it where it's at?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. From our perspective in the finance department, we do get a lot of requests for projects, for emergencies that come up where funds haven't been allocated towards. And that puts us in a position where we need to come to council now and get that authorization case by case. This would eliminate the need for us to do so. I understand your concerns with projects that were had funds originally earmarked for them not being done. Again, that is on the project manager and the administration on how they want to coordinate with the other department directors on that. This would just make it much simpler in the event there is an emergency or something that needs to be addressed, or if one of these projects like Arlington Park, right, say we allocated $1 million, just making a number up, and it costs you $1.2 million, you won't be able to execute what you need to do for that project without going back to council for the additional.
Well, I think that's why we have check and balance mechanisms. It's whenever we spending money, it should be coming back to council. If we're looking to spend 1.2 and we've only allocated 1 million, that's a good example. But let's say a project comes to fruition and then these projects that the money was already earmarked for never came to fruition. So, I mean, for me, that's the problem. If we've already identified money being allocated for specific areas and the council have already voted on that, right? So now when constituents come to us, we're just gonna say, oh, no, it's in a general fund. So as long as though they do X, Y, and Z, they're good. I mean, for me, it's almost like we're lacking accountability. If something go over budget, it should come back to the council for us to consider it. I mean, that's what the council for. That's why it's a process in place. To me, this is circumventing that process. I mean, I don't know what the intent, but I think that the way that this is written, I think is going to do more harm than good.
Yeah, and also,
Vote no, that's it.
yeah, and also because of the financial condition of the city, that's another reason this is being done. And it's wrong.
What do you mean by that, Councilman?
What do I mean by that? Why are we selling off so much land? Why, to meet the budget? You know,
Everything in this ordinance is funding that has already been authorized, so there's no
yeah,
new funding being allocated.
and they're putting the money someplace else. I think it has to be further explained. It should be taken.
Again, this is up to the council, and
So Kyle, I have a question about one of the line items and what exactly happens with that funding. Because I see the Holiday Street Firehouse in here, and I know we're still in the process of making repairs there, and they're due to be finished by spring. How does this impact that?
these aren't all the existing capital accounts. Anything that is, for the most part, anything actively being worked on, we have already encumbered in other accounts. This does not account for encumbrances under these purposes. So I understand what you're saying, but I'd have to give you the details of, what account that's currently coming from. But anything actively being worked on by the city is covered. Funds are encumbered for the projects. So
What are the reservoir funds going to be like? I know that there's multiple phases for the reservoir and the remediation. So these funds are being transferred to, if we vote on it, into a general account.
there are funds for park improvements and sustainability efforts. Park improvements is $5 million and then $4 million for sustainability. And again, this would be for citywide, but that would be a permissible use of it.
But there was like something specifically for Reservoir 3 as a line item.
Right.
People are asking us about it, and okay. I just didn't know if it was for another phase.
I'm not entirely sure where they're at with that project.
Okay. And the North District is on there as well. I know we haven't started the new North, but and I know it's going to take several $1 million more, but if I was to vote yes, like where would that money go? Like instead of to the new North?
For building improvements. General building improvements that could be used, again, like I said, for the same purpose, if not something else.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. The next item is 10.28, Resolution 25755. I'm just representing this one on behalf of the IT division. It is a service for the finance department, resolution authorizing agreement with Edmunds GovTech for support of software systems. This is our annual contract for the new financial accounting software that we're using. Next item, 10.40, Resolution 25767. Small amount, $1,224.52. This is just a grant reimbursement that we have to run through the budget. Any questions on that one? And my last item is 10.41, Resolution 25768. This is another installment of opioid settlement funds, $2,747. Yep, that's all. Thank you.
Council President, I just want to mark Councilperson Saleh present at 4:24 PM. So we now have 7 council members present. You're going to have to put the mic towards you a little more.
This is for item number 10.13, resolution 25-740.
You gotta talk louder. We cannot hear you.
I'm sorry. It is for item number 10.13, resolution 25-740. It's for the resolution designating funding in the open space, recreation, and historic Preservation Trust Fund for use towards various properties, 15 to be exact. It is much needed funding towards projects that support park improvement and historic preservation. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, Council. I'm here for three different items. The first one is 10.16, resolution number 25-743, resolution authorizing the execution of a agreement with the state of New Jersey, the New Jersey Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, permitting the city to use the National Guard Armory at 678 Montgomery, Jersey City, New Jersey.
Keith, I know when I was in recreation, part of the deal was, we would rent the armory from the state so the tracks for the public schools can have that. In return, we will be allowed to go into the public schools. I have learned, and I don't know how much validity is behind it, that we will not be going into the schools until next year. I know typically we always start after Thanksgiving. So can you, I guess, clear up if that is the case?
Yeah, we are starting our programs a little bit later, not for any reason because of the Board of Ed, just because of the holidays. But that's really about it. We're running boxing still. That's going to continue. And I just can't think of offhand what else. But yeah, we're just starting a little bit later, 14 and 41. They'll all be used. There's no situation between us and the Board of Ed.
Which a little bit later, because we normally go right after the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah.
So you're telling me we're going to miss the whole month of December indoors?
Not all programs. No, because the Armory is going to be supplying track and basketball. So we'll have that up there. So
Yeah.
after the tracks come in, they leave at 5:15, then from 5:15 to 8.
But the issue is, if the deal was us using the public schools.
There's no deal on the table. I have never talked to anybody about, say, if we do A, we get B. So there's no.
No, as the coordinator of the program, I'm definitively telling you that's what the deal was brokered. The school would use the armory and we would use the school for after-school basketball programs.
Okay, but as acting director, I know that there's no deal in place where we say if we do A, we'll do B. Because if I don't do A, they're still going to give us B. Or if we do B, we're still going to do A.
Okay, so the better question is, when are the kids going into school?
I think the program starts January 1st for some programs, not all programs. We have programs all over the city. So we also have the community center. We also have the armory. So those will be the big places where we're running programs. And then January 1st, that's when our regular
issue
programs
with
start.
just having the armory is kids that live up by Curry Woods are not going to the armory for distance reason. And then for confrontational reasons, they can't go that way. So that's why it made sense for each of the kids to participate in the recreational activities of the schools they went to.
Understood. We've been doing it for 5 or 6 years now. I understand. So, but this time we're just taking a couple of weeks to start the program up. And
I just want you to understand the sense of urgency and how vital these programs are, particularly to kids on the south side of the city.
with all
While
due respect,
to us,
with all
it
due
may-
respect, Councilman, there's,
if I'm talking, let me finish.
okay,
While it may not seem like a big deal to some, kids having nothing to do for a whole calendar month is a huge deal, especially for those kids up there.
Councilman, if there's a way to speed it up, I'll work through my office and meet with the school board. I'm welcome to join you with you and your staff, and we can work on that.
if there are any more questions? Okay. And I'll talk to Joe about setting up programs a little bit quicker for this month. There's a lot of holidays in between all those. So if we could bring them to the armory, that would be the best thing. Second resolution is 10.29, resolution 25-7, resolution number 25-756, resolution authorizing an award of contract to Great Lakes Recreation Company, Voice Incorporated, for the purchase, delivery, removal, installation of splash pads for Dr. Lena Edwards. Project 2025 through Sourcewell Cooperative, formerly known as the National Joint Powers Alliance for the Department of Recreation and Youth Development Park Maintenance. Any questions? And then we have number 10.30, resolution 25-757. Resolution authorizing an award of a contract to Ben Schaefer Recreation for the purchase, delivery, removal, and installation of new playground equipment and safety surface for Virginia Avenue Park through the Educational Service Commission of ESCNJ, for formerly Middlesex Regional Educational Service Commission, for the Department of Recreation, Division of Parks Maintenance.
That's it, Keith?
That's it.
Keith, I just want to say something. I want to thank you. You've made a lot of changes in the recreation department. Every time I call you with problems, you take care of them right away. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thank you.
Good evening, council members. I'm here on behalf of the Division of Community Development as the acting director. Accompanying me is Jim-Lise DeRosier. She is our compliance officer, and she will be presenting on agenda item 10.10, resolution 25-737.
What?
Good afternoon, members of the City Council. My name is Jim Lees, and I am the Compliance Officer for the Division of Community Development. I'm here to present Resolution 25-737, Agenda Number 10.10. And this resolution is reprogramming funding and awarding program contracts to the city's Division of Community Development Home Improvement Program under the 2020 Community Development Block Grant Rehabilitation Program. So initially, Resolution 20-26 was approved in September 2020 to award $100,000 under the 2020 CDBG Rehabilitation Program, and DCD contracted with Habitat for Humanity to provide rehabilitation services to low to moderate homeowners. Habitat for Humanity completed 2 projects during that time for a total of $46,902.02. DCD and Habitat mutually terminated their contract in November 12, 2024. So we're asking for the remaining funds from the initial $100,000 to be reprogrammed back to DCD so that we can contract with contractors to provide the services of rehabilitation to low to moderate homeowners.
The new contractor will be essentially providing the same services. We're just doing away with our contract with Habitat for Humanities, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good holiday.
You too.
Matt.
Afternoon, council. I'm here on 2 items, but actually I should start with the third. Item 4.7, ordinance 25-124. That's an item that is currently scheduled before planning board at tomorrow's meeting. Before the planning board is able to produce a report to bring back to city council. So I would recommend that that item be carried to December 10th so that the board can, or the council can hear the recommendations or
4.7.
Yeah, 4.7 before they make a decision on the second reading ordinance.
Council, yeah, we would have to carry it to the 10th because the planning board has to opine on it before we can approve.
Okay, with that, I'm here on item 3.3, ordinance 25-129. This is an ordinance of the City of Jersey City Municipal Council amending the Jersey City official zoning map and incorporation of IZO compliance provisions. This is very similar to ordinance 25-112, which is up for second reading before City Council. In between the introduction and today of that second reading ordinance, a community meeting was conducted on November 18th, 2025. There were several people that joined via Microsoft Teams, as well as some folks that gathered with Councilman Boggiano at a cafe in the Heights. City staff went over the recommendation of planning board and some of the reasons as to why the recommendation for 8-story zoning was incorporated into that first version of this ordinance. Previously, the 2 blocks that were recommended for that 8-story zoning were zoned for that, were actually zoned for 10 stories, 100 feet, for roughly or over 2 decades. And that being the furthest west blocks of this 139 gateway, city staff still stands behind that recommendation. Now, hearing from the community groups that and members that joined the meeting, a first reading ordinance is before you, item 3.2. And there is a map attached to that which eliminates I'm sorry, that's wrong. 3.3, sorry. And there's a map in there that is attached, which shows that the R3 is no longer a part of that ordinance. Should you proceed with introducing and voting on that first reading ordinance, item 3.3. So we leave it with the city council and in their judgment and best in their careful hands. Thank you.
Hey, Matt, this is 139, right?
That's right.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying it's that one. So we will have to, because isn't it one on there, the second reading?
Yeah, the second reading is being tabled.
Yeah, council members, the second reading by process, Sean can correct me if I'm wrong, you would vote on the first reading to introduce it. If you introduce the 139 changes that the councilman proposed, then you have to vote to defeat the second one. So you can't have 2 of them.
And basically what we would do, we would introduce the item 3.3, ordinance 25-129, and then when we get to the second readings on item 4.1, 25-112, as long as we introduce the first one, we will make a motion to defeat the ordinance without holding a public hearing.
Matt, I just want to thank you because you met with us in the neighborhood, you met with the people, you heard them, and you listened to them. And I want to thank you and Tanya for what you did.
So Rich, which 4.1 we voting on to 4 is better? Wait.
3.3 is the one that's the new and improved.
Oh, that's the new, oh, okay.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Oh.
Good evening, Council, City Clerk. For the record, Paul Cate, Health and Human Services Director of Disease Prevention and Injury Prevention. I have 3 items for you tonight. 2 are on behalf of the Division of Food and Nutrition. I'll start with those. The first is agenda number 10.7, resolution 25-734. This is a resolution authorizing the city to apply for and accept a grant from Farm Credit East. They work with farming industries across the Northeast. This is to help expand the Healthy Greens program. The grant could be up to $50,000 with 0 match from the city. Any questions on the first? Good. Okay, next is food and nutrition as well. Agenda number 10.8, resolution 25-735. This is a resolution authorizing the city and Health and Human Services to accept additional grant funds from the county Health and Human Services program. We accepted $40,000 December of last year, and this is an incremental $10,000 to help the Meals on Wheels program. Good. Okay. Last, for Division of Injury Prevention, agenda number 10.17, resolution 25-744. So this is a resolution authorizing the department to reach out for a bid process for competitive contracting to purchase new mobile outreach units to replace the Ruby buses that we currently run. While they're effective, they have their limitations. During colder months, the pipes freeze, we can't use them for shower services and laundry. So generously through DCD, they're providing funding to, and City Clerk, this is an ask from both myself and Director Flanagan. We're going to be revising this from the resolution of 1 unit to 2, because just this afternoon, DCD said they could provide enough money to allow us to get 2 units, or to put out a bid for 2 units.
If you can just send over the changes in Word, I'll be able to make that correction to the resolution.
Absolutely.
Either tonight or tomorrow morning.
Yep, definitely tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's a resolution just to allow us to go out to bid.
So we'll still be using the red ones just in the warmer months.
I can't answer that right now. I can get back to you with the idea is to use the new units because they're more reliable. If I could be candid, the Ruby units in the winter months are really just used to provide just general outreach and transport people who need the services to Universal Full Gospel Church and MLK. That's great. But if we could meet them where they are rather than drive them around the city, it's a better use of the program. And I think we'll be able to serve more people more effectively. Good. Thank you very much. Have a good holiday. Thank you.
Good evening, Council President, members of council, Mike Mandela, Director of Transportation Planning on behalf of the Department of Infrastructure. I have 5 items to present to you tonight. 2 are actually for the Division of Traffic Engineering and Director Wong. The first is agenda item number 3.2, ordinance 25-128. And that's an ordinance to amend section 332 of the code to adjust where parking is prohibited at all times. And that would be to remove that prohibition on the south side of Stuyvesant Street on the block between Warren Street and Washington Street. And this ordinance was requested by Councilman Solomon's office. Okay. Second item is item 10.6. It's resolution 25-733. This is the resolution designating a loading zone at 531 Newark Avenue on Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And this was requested by Councilman Bogiano's office. Okay, the next 2 are related to each other. The first is agenda item number 10.11, resolution 25-738. This is a resolution to authorize the city to enter into a grant agreement and accept a grant award of $1 million from the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection for the purposes of electrifying the fleet of Via Jersey City vehicles. A little bit of history. This the NJDEP awarded the city $1.6 million in 2022 to help transition the Via Jersey City fleet to electric vehicles. In 2023, the council adopted a resolution to authorize $600,000 of those dollars to be reimbursed to the city for the Via service, and we have started collecting reimbursements on that funding. The remaining $1 million was always meant to be to purchase EV charging equipment so that the Via Jersey City fleet could become fully electric.
Oh, and this takes us to the full electric threshold?
Full what? Sorry.
Full electric threshold.
Yeah.
I know at one point it was a portion, and this is finishing up the rest of that.
Yeah, this would be to help transition the fleet to full electric. Yeah.
Speaking of transition, when are they transitioning from off Edie to the spot there?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Councilman. That's the next resolution.
Oh, okay.
So the related resolution is agenda item 10.12. That's resolution 25-739. And that's to authorize a tri-party agreement with a private property owner in order to install the charging stations that would be paid for by that $1 million grant on private property. So VIA is about to enter into a lease with a private property owner to move out of the Iggy lot into another lot. Before they sign the lease, they would really like to have the tri-party agreement between the city, the owner, and VIA to confirm, to allow the owner to have confirmation that there's going to be EV charging there. So once they have this tri-party agreement, they could sign the lease and they'll move in before the end of the year.
So,
I'm sorry.
you ready, Rich? Go ahead.
I just want, this morning on the radio, they were talking about California, and California's going all electric. And they said, what happens if a crisis happens and the power goes out, we have a disaster or something like that? We're in trouble because all the police cars aren't going to work. Nothing's going to work. I think this is not too smart that you turn everything over to electric. If you listen to the radio in California with what's going on, I don't think it's such a smart idea.
Yeah, it is a concern, Councilman. I think the city has been making efforts in terms of sustainability and developing microgrids run off of renewables. So in case there is an outage, that there is an independent backup of those electric services. And the electric vehicles that would be used in the VIA fleet, they're not charged they don't need to be charged every day. So there's opportunity there to have a few days of available supply in case, God forbid, there was some kind of serious power outage.
Listen to the radio.
Thanks.
So, Mike, as it relates to these, what you call it, the charging stations,
yeah.
would they only be for the VIA vehicles or also accessible for public?
Good question. So this grant that was awarded in 2022 was specifically for the VIA Jersey City program. So DEP will only allow those chargers to be used for the VIA fleet. However, we do have another grant that we will at some point be coming forward to you to accept the grant award to do community charging, to have DEP pay for charging stations within multifamily community neighborhoods. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. And the last one is agenda item 10.37. It's resolution 25-764. This is a resolution requesting from the New Jersey Department of Transportation a 6-month extension for the award of the construction contract for the Manhattan Avenue, Franklin Street Bikeways Grant Project. As you're aware, there were already extensions approved for this grant. We did submit the final plans that the council authorized to move forward to the DOT for their review. They've come back with some checklist items that we need to provide them, and they actually told us to just go ahead and submit another extension since the award deadline is coming up next month.
So, Mike, we paid for architectural rendering. What happened with that?
Design plans. So they were completed and submitted to the DOT for their review. So the DOT reviews and approves them, and then they authorize us to then go out to bid. Once we go out to bid, then we would award a contract, and that's what has to happen before this current deadline. So that's why we're looking for one more extension.
Oh, I mean, the confusing thing for me about this is that at one point we were saying that we had to get it because we were infringing upon the deadline. Then the deadline came, we extended it. Now it's coming again. Because the community, either we do it or we not, because it keep coming back. And when people reach out, I just don't know what to say, because I know 1 minute someone's saying this, we have to do it right away because we won't get no more extensions. Now there's 2 extensions later. So I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah, I mean, typically DOT doesn't offer extensions willy-nilly. I think because we have submitted the design plans and they've received them and they see them, they're willing to give us that one more extension. And they know that there's sort of some extenuating circumstances behind this project. So they were willing to do one more grant deadline.
So you don't foresee us having to get any other extensions as it relates to this?
I don't think that anyone would like to see that. I think we'd like to make some decisions on this project one way or another.
Yes, I think it's in the best interest of everybody if we do that.
So Mike, I'm voting on this, just for the record, right?
Yeah,
But let me ask you a question.
sure.
Did you guys go back to, because I know the last time we spoke that you guys were gonna go back to public safety and discuss what the concerns with parents, and forget about parents, the public safety department, where they were saying that this was something that we have to look at very carefully. Did you go back to them and get that? Because I know they previously said no
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah.
Did you go back to them and get a yes answer from them?
We haven't. We talked to them a few times before that no came in, and then that was right when the council authorized the design. I think at some point when the ordinance does ever come up to council, we'll definitely have those discussions again with public
And
safety.
the reason why I say that, it was Councilman Gilmore, hit it on the head. That was a contentious meeting because we were like, hey, you need to make this decision or this grant is gone forever. Now we're here talking about an extension
Right.
out of nowhere.
But I think if we hadn't made that decision at that time to at least start the design, then it would have been a moot point, because DOT is only really offering the extension because we've submitted the design plans. If we had never started that process and just said, please give us another extension, I think they would have said no.
So what's the difference now?
Well, we've submitted some design plans to them.
But the public safety part of it, we don't know what's going, the entire homework wasn't done, is what I'm trying to get, right?
Yeah, understood.
Again, I'm voting for this project, right?
Yeah.
But I just think that we're submitting homework and it's not done.
Understood. Yeah. That's it.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Sean, take it from the top.
All right.
They better go to the people up there, because the people don't want.
Going with our first reading ordinances, item 3.1, City Ordinance 25-127 is amending Chapter A 350 Council Rules of Order. Items 3.2 and 3.3 were touched on earlier. Item 3.4, City Ordinance 25-130 is an ordinance of the City of Jersey City authorizing the City of Jersey City to enter into a lease agreement with Exchange Place Alliance District Management Corporation for space at 335 Washington Street.
Clerk, sorry. No, okay. No, it's okay.
Good evening, Council. Don Pepe on behalf of the Exchange Place Alliance. So the most recent budget adopted for the Exchange Place Alliance contemplated renovating and fitting out what's commonly, I think, called the Ice House, which is a building that was dedicated to the city as part of a development project. It's across the street from the powerhouse. And the Exchange Place Alliance is looking to fit that out as a community art and performance space. And this would be a lease agreement that would allow us to take control of the premises for a period of time.
Do me a favor, when you go back to this Exchange Place Alliance, around the Polish statue down there, you want to tell them to clean up the street there, fix those blocks there that are broken. Yeah, they were complaining when we had the ceremony down there. All right?
I will bring it to their attention tomorrow.
They destroyed that whole area by what they did, the Exchange Place Alliance. And now, they're not taking care of it.
Thank you.
That's fine. I was going to say about, before we finish the first reading ordinances, that I had a late item for an accessibility committee. So I'd like to introduce that, and I've worked on it ordinance. So just want to, Councilwoman DeGise and Council President Joyce Waterman have helped me on it, and I'd like to bring that forward. Okay. Right now? Oh, okay. Give me one. You got it. I'll give you the title right now. An ordinance establishing the Jersey City Accessibility Advisory Committee. Peter, you got that on your end? You can.
No objection from the administration.
Thank you. No objections.
So the only thing we'll need to do, council, is just take a vote to add it as a late item.
You gonna talk about it?
We'll talk about it December 10th.
Oh,
Talk about it now.
Okay. I can hear some of you guys, even with your mics off. Anyway, next is our second reading ordinances. As explained before, item 4.1 will be defeated as long as we introduce the first reading ordinance that replaces this. Item 4.2 was touched on earlier. Item 4.3, City Ordinance 25-120 is a franchise ordinance granting permission to 201 Newark Avenue Property LLC as successors and assigns to construct private improvements within the sidewalk area of the Jersey Avenue public right-of-way adjacent to Lot 5, Block 12702 on the official tax assessment map of the city of Jersey City.
Sean, I was told before there may be a lawsuit involving the city over this,
yes, I think they're gonna, Brittany,
So I believe, council members, we have both attorneys here for both sides. If you want to have some questions, they can answer it to the best of their ability.
well, I mean, I guess, should we have from,
If you can just identify yourself for the record.
Yes, certainly. Thanks. My name is Ann Studholm from the law firm of Post Pollock in Roseland, and I represent the Saffron Homeowners Association. We're currently in litigation appealing an approval by the zoning board of a project at 201 Newark. That's the intersection of Newark and Jersey where the bank is. And that is docket number HUDL 322625. Briefing schedule has been ordered on that. But that's clearly going to take a few months to play out. So while that's playing out, we thought it's probably, not really a good time for the city to take action on something that affects this application, which is currently on appeal.
yeah, also, what's more important here is.
can we finish?
Oh,
No, I'm finished.
No.
No,
what's
no,
more-
no, no, it's your turn. It's your turn, so speak.
All right, go on, finish.
Listen.
Oh, well, I mean, I can go on if you want to know more. I mean,
Yeah, well, she's finished. She said,
Oh,
well, I'm gonna tell you more. The people don't want it.
don't tell her. Speak.
She finished. She said she was finished.
No, I mean, I'm happy to hear what the councilman has to say. I've got more information if you guys would like it.
Heard her.
Do I have to call order to this caucus meeting?
Easy in here some days.
Okay, so you are finished with your comments?
Well, I mean, I'm happy to take questions and I'm happy to give you more information if that's needed. I don't really know what Brittany is recommending to you guys, but I can tell you about the project. I can tell you about the franchise. I can tell you about information about what they're planning to build in accordance with this franchise that wasn't already in the plans and be given to you. I have more information if you'd like to hear it. I just wasn't sure that you wanted to hear it.
Yeah. And I started to ask a question because I heard you say you were finished and I got interrupted. First of all, the people down there do not want this. Most of the people in the city are sick and tired of seeing beautiful buildings like that destroyed. And I believe the community should stand up and say no, and this project should be killed.
You understand that you and I agree.
I guess we do.
Rich, Chuck, let Chuck.
So again, if you're going to be thinking about it, if there's aspects of the application that you're still thinking about, That's why we were here last week to say, for example, the application that's before you, as far as I saw from the plans, doesn't show the extent of the current city electric bike rental rack. That would be pretty close. It's true they've got like a 5-foot gap at a certain point between this franchise and the bike rack, but I don't think that was on the plan that you saw. And again, you can reach out to the planning people. The other thing is I want to make sure that this council is aware, this thing that they're planning is not going to be like little wooden tables sitting on a sidewalk. It's going to be 3.5 feet high. So basically everybody's sitting on their, I hate to say this, but their crotch level is going to be at eye level of the passersby. So you know there's going to be some solid walls there. It's going to be 3.5 feet high. It's going to be solid. It's going to be faced in granite, 72 feet long, 8 feet wide, sticking out from the building. At the moment, they've got 7, what you call in the restaurant trade, 2-tops. That's 7 2-people seat tables there. And at the moment, and Mr. Harrington, correct me if I'm wrong, I think at the moment it's proposed to have large automatic retractable awnings, and the glass doors will slide back and forth. So at the moment, there's no proposal to winterize it. But you know, if they're building something 572 square feet, 3.5 feet tall, 8 feet wide, clad in granite, with already they're going to be repurposing steel grills on it. And I think there's probably gonna have to be solid, because I wouldn't want to sit there as a woman.
Okay.
Okay, for you, you
None of
said you
that's
had
in-
nothing else to say. Okay, come on, Chuck.
Yes, thank you. For the record, Charles Harrington, for the applicant, and just a few comments. There's no reason not to act on this now. It's part of the process. The fact that someone takes an appeal to the next level does not mean everything stops. In many projects, you can act and move forward on your own risk, or at your own risk when something's under appeal. So there's no reason to stop and not hear this. I mean, the city already acted on it. The zoning board heard it, 5 hearings, and they voted unanimously to approve the project. This is a hotel or a restaurant on the ground floor. It is restoring and rehabbing the old Capital One bank. And what we are proposing, yeah, it's going to be 3 feet higher, but as I explained, 3 feet off the ground, I explained at the last caucus, that's because the interior of the building is 3 feet high. So this is similar to what every other restaurant would have on a sidewalk cafe. But when you're 3 feet above the ground, you're not gonna walk out and then down to the sidewalk. This allows it to be level with the interior of the building. And I also note that, this Capital One building, and this was vetted at the zoning board. We had 5 hearings. Many people came out, and Councilman Bogiano, there are many people in favor of it, not against it. Not everybody's against that.
I haven't heard one person.
I don't want that to be a misrepresentation, but this building, this complements this building. You want something that's grand there. And as we said before the zoning board, this is something that's located at the west end of the pedestrian plaza. So it's a perfect location. You're gonna have eyes on the street. We all know the tragedy that happened on Maxwell Place within the last month. This gets activity there, and you're gonna have people there. So yeah, it's gonna be out there, and we think it's a great location to be out there. And it is, yeah, there's no reason not to act on this. There is an appeal that will take its way through the courts, but this is before you to review it and act on it. And when Ann's comments about the bike racks there, we've been working with the Jersey City Traffic Department and City Bike to relocate those. So this has been reviewed and vetted by the Jersey City Engineering and Traffic Department as part of the application before the zoning board and as part of the application to this council. So it's not so, and they've given their recommendation, on it. So that's again, I think it's appropriate, and I think that the council should move and act on it.
Chuck, I just have one question. I'm not too caught up in what's going on in the legal battle, but how does this like, if we don't vote on it now, what if anything happens, let's say if you win the litigation, how does this hinder your client's ability to move forward?
Well, this is part, like, if this is voted on now, if it's approved, we keep moving forward with, construction documents, and things like that, which we are, my client wants to do. He wants to move forward on this project as soon as possible. So if you delay it, you delay him. The court action doesn't delay us because we can keep moving forward on our own risk. But if this is not, voted on, you delay us, my client, from moving forward at this time.
Well, but how long? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is it a huge delay or?
Every day is a huge delay. I mean, it really, every project, you want to get all the pieces of the puzzle together as soon as possible.
Or you go to okay. Now, for our legal team, Brittany, it is pending in litigation. As our representation, do you think that if we either voted it down or tabled it, what is your recommendation, I guess?
Sure, counsel. So the zoning board is the defendant. The city itself is not a defendant, but there still is litigation ongoing. I did send the council an email. I would be cautious. I would
Okay.
say,
Yeah.
not to vote on it.
But Brittany, when you say the zoning board is a defendant and not the city, the zoning board is like how?
The zoning board and the planning board both have their own attorney.
Attorneys, yeah.
So they are separate entities.
Okay, no more talking. That's it. That's it. Thank you. Thank you.
He asked.
That's it. No, this ain't the court of law where we go back and forth. That's why we don't do it.
Back to forth.
No.
That's
it.
Joyce, I
That's
just want
it.
to say one.
That's it.
City's
No,
not a
no,
defendant
please.
yet.
That's enough,
Not yet.
okay? That's enough.
Not yet.
That's why we have our attorney here. That's why. And she sent us an email.
I just want
She
to,
sent us an email. She did. She sent us an email. She did. That's why I'm saying we do have the email. She
Okay.
sent this and
That's an-
she's answering wisely and I'm seeing that. So that's why I said that's enough. That's why.
all right, can
She
I,
represents us.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just want to say something though. The planning board and zoning board are, they just, never go along with what the people want and they just do as they're told.
Okay. Next, Sean.
Next item is 4.4, City Ordinance 25-121, is an ordinance amending Chapter 3, Article 10 of the Jersey City Municipal Code. Next, 4.5, City Ordinance 25-122, is an ordinance supplementing Chapter 254, Property Maintenance, Article 9, Maintenance and Responsibilities of Owners and Managers, amending Section 254-45, General Safety and Sanitation, to align the facade inspection standards with best practices. Item 4.6, City Ordinance 25-123, is an ordinance of the Jersey City Municipal Council amending the Jersey City Land Development Ordinance, Chapter 345, Article 1, Section 6, Definitions, Chapter 345, Article 5, Section 62, Residential Design Standards, and Chapter 345, Article 5, Section 63, Non-Residential Design Standards. Item 4.7 was touched on earlier. Again, I will need a motion to carry that ordinance to the December 10th meeting. Next, item 4.8, City Ordinance 25-125, is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 260, Rent Control, to address institutional ownership of its units not currently subject to rent control.
This hurts, mom and pop shops, and,
Yeah, I know.
it's wrong.
Yes or no?
I
That's it. The people want to know. Done? Vote yes or no.
mean, we wouldn't be,
The LLC.
yeah. And this is what, if they own multiple and then you, yeah, I mean, I know what the intent is, but
Just vote yes or
by
no.
default, it looks like we hurt people.
Just vote yes or no when they vote.
Yeah.
Just vote it down or vote it up.
It's
That's
gonna be
it.
voted down.
That's it. Just vote yes or no.
Yeah.
That's it.
Tomorrow we'll see its faith. Next,
Okay.
Item 4.9, City Ordinance 25-126 is an ordinance approving a 30-year tax exemption for a mixed-use project at 30 Newport Parkway and 40 Newport Parkway, and authorizing financial agreement with NC Housing Associates Number 200 Urban Renewal Company pursuant to the long-term tax exemption law, NJSA 40A:20-1 exec. And we have the attorney representing Jim McCann, and I have a handout to provide the council while Jim is going to go over the handout.
Hi, Jim McCann from the law firm of Connell Foley on behalf of the applicant. I just wanted to point out to the council that I was asked at the first caucus to provide conventional tax information for the project. So I have done that, and that's the handout you're receiving. Actually, the figures that are in that handout are from your financial advisor, NW Financial. I did not prepare those calculations. They're from them. And I just thought at the same time that I would provide you with just a quick cheat sheet on what the terms of the proposal are here. As you know, this is an existing project. It already serves the affordable housing community at 80% AMI. It currently pays the city at 6% of annual gross revenue, $2 million. Under the proposal before you, the project will be converted to a full Chapter 188 affordable housing project with low income, moderate income, and very low income housing in it. That conversion can easily happen because the units are already built. So this is a preservation of an existing affordable housing project. And under the proposal before you, the city will receive, instead of $2 million, it will receive over $3.8 million as the service charge, because it will almost double from 6% to 10%. And the last thing is just to urge you to just take a look at before you vote on Wednesday. NW Financial did a report that was attached to your ordinance. And you can see from that report that there are units that will be rented out for as low as $654 per month, $701 per month, 2-bedroom, $841 per month. Now, they're not the average rents, but those are the rents for the very low income units. And you could see there's a chart there where I think if you look at it, I hope you would agree with me that there's some very affordable units listed. And again, this is NW Financial's information, not mine.
And
unless there's any.
when this abatement is up, when the first 30 years is up, what's the expiration date for the first one?
So the current abatement expires in December of 2028.
December 2028.
So this tax abatement that we're proposing here before you would commence the day after the existing one expires.
Okay, so it expire in over 2 years, and the current affordable threshold is 10%, it looks like, plus another, what is?
So no, the current threshold is 15. What we're proposing is 20%. So we're going to add 18 more affordable units.
Also, we'll bring it to 20% affordable.
From the current one is 15% affordable. We will bring it up to 20% affordable. Yes. Yes, sir.
And I mean, I don't know, maybe this is a dumb question. If it's not up until 28, because I'm gonna be honest, this is what it looks like to the outside and the people who don't necessarily do the day-to-day of city operations. Councilman, this looks like they're rushing something in for downtown to have more luxury buildings. So my question to you, if it's up in 28, I can even make the argument that it may be fair to do it in 27, which is a year before. But here we are in 25, which is, over 3 years. So why?
I think I can answer that because Newport would really like to keep this project as an affordable housing project. It has a mix of housing. I know everybody thinks of it as a luxury community, but it does have a mix of housing. They want to keep this project as an affordable housing project. And they would like the city to be a part of it instead of the NJFMHMFA. That process before that agency takes a really long time. So the reason we're here now is to see if it's acceptable to the city, then they do not have to go through the HMFA process again. And they can have a relationship, an affordable housing agreement with the city instead of them. So that's why we're here early. The other thing is if nobody wants to give this project a tax abatement, it may eventually transition to market rate housing, and that process, the tenants have to get notice of it, things. So that process has to start to be thought through also to protect, the tenants. There's a process that you have to go through for the tenants. So it's just early planning, good planning.
So my next question is, if this is voted down, in 28, you guys will transition those things from affordable to market rate, right?
Probably, yes, yes.
And that process takes 3 years?
There's a process, I can't tell you exactly how many years, but no tenant is evicted immediately. It doesn't work that way. There's a process that the NJMFHA has that regulates that process.
Yeah,
But I just know, for me, just looking at all of the development that have transpired in the last 15, 20 years in this city, a bulk of it have been down in this corridor. And I just think as I begin to learn about these abatements and how it really puts a strain on 1 and 2 family households, I just want to make sure I'm doing my due diligence as it relates to trying to make sure the city get as much tax revenue as possible. I know there is a huge conversation about having affordable units. I think we're all for that. I just think that we have to really be financially responsible as it relates to who gets abatements and where the abatements go. Because I don't even think I can find the evaded property from Municipal to the Bayonne borderline.
Well, I just to answer, give you a little bit something to think about. So, I've been before you asking for redevelopment plan amendments and even tax abatements for affordable housing projects that aren't built yet. And usually it's for 50 apartments, maybe 60, maybe 70. I think there was one with 90. These apartments are already there. They're ready to be converted. Subject to this proposal. They're already existing. This project is going to happen, and it's 178 affordable units. That's a lot of affordable housing units. 48 would be very low income. 86 would be low income. And the city's service charge is almost going to double. So the city will get 3.8 million, almost $4 million, where now they're getting 2 million. So that's a big bump for the city.
You know how much the city would get if it was no pilot?
Yeah, it's in the sheet I gave you.
No, I want to know, do you know the number?
The number here is 6.3 million.
Okay.
That's conventional taxes.
Rich, I have a question.
yeah, Mr. McCann, would you do me a favor and get me a tax abatement on my house, please?
Unfortunately, the law doesn't allow that.
I mean, come on. You just said $6 million and you're talking about they're going to be paying 3 million,
No, I said they're going to pay 3.8 million, almost 4 million. But the other thing is, Rich, on conventional taxes, and you know this as well as I do, the city gets right now about 35% of every dollar. So basically, this is an affordable housing project. The city will get more money keeping this as affordable housing than they would if it was conventionally taxed.
And the other thing is that people.
That's common knowledge, right? 6 million, 35% of it is what? Less than 3 million. So there are definitely advantages to the city, not the developer, to the city to preserving this affordable housing project this way.
30 years.
And the schools would also get their fair share, correct?
There's a county service charge of, it's in my sheet to you. hundred and something $1,000,
Okay.
Councilman.
Okay.
Yes, it's on the cheat sheet I gave you.
I mean, it's a judgment call. Do you want affordable housing? It's gonna come at a cost, like it's gonna come with abatements. If you don't want affordable housing, then, you know, we could vote it down. That's and the city only gets 33% under traditional tax scheme. This would be straight to the city and the schools.
But I think
County.
realistically, if there's no abatement, there won't be, the project will convert to conventional housing.
Exactly. So it's like,
To market rate housing, it just has to. It's 188,000, Councilman, for the county.
got it. So it's a judgment call and, you know, do what you feel is right.
Yes or no? Okay, Sean.
I really appreciate your time. Thank you. Oh, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Okay, that's the second reading ordinances. Moving on to our public request for a hearing. Right now, we have 46 speakers. Any questions or comments on petitions, communications 6.1 through 6.36? Hearing none. Any questions on office communications 7.1, 7.2? Any questions or comments on report of directors 8.1 through 8.2? We have our claims and on to our resolutions. First resolution, item 10.1, City Resolution 25-728 is a resolution congratulating Pastor Erin Ian on her installation and excellent public service. Item 10.2, Resolution 25-729 is a resolution supporting New Jersey Senate Bill number 4442, Assembly Bill A 5521, establishing local requirement for updated alcohol health warning signage. Item 10.3, City Resolution 25-730 is a resolution fixing the dates and times for the caucuses and regular meetings of the Municipal Council for the calendar year 2026. Before we get into all of the meeting dates, just so you know, all the meeting dates were vetted for all the religious holidays on all religions. And also the very first meeting that we're putting on the meeting will be with this council that is behind me. And that is to pay bills, because if you look at the last meeting of this year, which will be December 10th, it's almost a month later. And I'm sure we're going to have companies knocking on our doors if we don't have a council meeting, so we can pay them in a timely manner. And we want to be able to do business with these same companies. And I know the business administrator is going to address it.
Yeah, quickly to address that. Thank you, Sean. As the council is aware, when you were all voted in, usually January 1st is a reorganization meeting when we do everything. Because of this change in state law, it's now January 14th or 15th, I believe.
15th is when the new administration takes over.
15th. So there's going to be a gap between December 10th and January 15th, as Sean mentioned, when we'd have no meetings and potentially not be able to pay any bills. So it's a little odd, but this council will be technically meeting one final time in January. No new ordinances, no new resolutions, strictly to pay bills and make sure the city continues to operate. Thank you.
Does any council member have any questions on the meeting dates?
We have the dates?
They are attached to the resolution.
If you.
And you can read it at your leisure. If you have any issues, let me know by tomorrow. Next, item 10.4, City Resolution 25-731 is a resolution certifying compliance with NJSA 48:5-4, requiring the governing body of every local unit to make an annual audit of the books, accounts, and financial transactions. Basically, this ordinance is, if approved, will say that you guys all received the annual audit, you reviewed the annual audit, and what's probably in front of you being circulated right now is the group affidavit that is required by the Division of Local Government Services that I will have to submit with the approved resolution. Okay, next, 10.5, Resolution 25-732 is a resolution correcting the reappointment period of Judge Rami Aid to be a judge of the municipal court to October 28th, 2026, due to an error in calculating of his time of his appointment. So we have our corporation counsel here just to answer any questions that any of the council members may have on this corrective resolution.
And council members, I did send you an email this afternoon about it, just explaining it, just to comply with the statute to make sure he gets his full 3-year term. He was initially shorted a few months. So this is the correction.
Okay. Hearing no questions, we'll move on. Thank you, Corporation Counsel. Items 10.6 through 10.8 were touched on earlier. Item 10.9, City Resolution 25-736 is a resolution appointing Daniela Pepe as a member of the Jersey City Cannabis Control Board. Items, her resume is attached to the resolution, and so is the letter from the mayor. And she is filling a vacancy because they added 2 additional spots to the Cannabis Control Board.
How many people on there now, Sean?
I believe it went from 5 to 7, if I'm not mistaken.
No, but how many, it's a 7-member
This might be
board, but
6.
she'll be the 6th
I
person?
believe so. They've been
Yeah,
having,
because-
they have a meeting tonight, so.
Right, and they actually, they had a vacancy due to a resignation, so they're still limping along with 6 members, I believe.
Okay.
Okay. Items 10.10 through 10.13 were touched on earlier. Item 10.14, City Resolution 25-741 is a resolution authorizing the reimbursement of $31,617.58 to Shad Burke due to erroneous auction of a vehicle. Item 10.15, Resolution 25-742 is a resolution authorizing the execution of a license and gift agreement between the City of Jersey City and Friends of Van Vorst Park, Inc. to allow maintenance and upgrades to Van Vorst Park. Items 10.16 through 10.34 have been discussed earlier. I'm going to turn it over to our Corporation Counsel for items 10.35 and 36. And 38 and 39.
Sure. Council members, I did send you, this was included in the email update this afternoon as well. These are just to assign conflict counsel for 1035. We cannot represent the city and one of the named defendants, so that's assigning counsel. 1036 is continuing litigation, and I did provide you an update offline about that, as well as 1038 and 1039. That's also continuing litigation. We are scheduled for arbitration in late January, so hopefully that will be resolved early next year.
Motion.
And
Oh, well, hold on.
sorry, we do have one other, Jean Polino is here as well. There was an email sent out about untabling one of the ordinances. We have 11.11. I don't know if he was signed up to speak or if anybody has questions about it.
So item 11.11, City Ordinance 25-087 is an ordinance of the Municipal Council amending the Fayette Broadway redevelopment plan.
My name is Eugene Paolino. I'm with Nova Burns and I represent the applicant on the redevelopment plan. The last time we were here in October, October 25th, I believe, we discussed going back to the community to get some greater clarity on what was going on. There was concern about construction on an adjacent piece of property, West Side Square, that is almost completed. And there was concern about Salumaria Ercolano or Ercolano Salumaria. I don't know which is first or last. I'm here to report to you what happened there and also to ask that the matter be placed, removed from being tabled and placed on the agenda for a vote on the amendment. Now, you'll also recall that you took testimony on the amendment. You also took public comment on the amendment. So the only thing that's open for you to do tomorrow or whenever you decide to hear it is to vote. Tonight, I just thought I would provide a report to you, as I said, to let you know what happened at the community meeting we did meet with the community on October 16. And at that time, there were basically two major issues that they raised. One was the construction that was going on the adjacent building. Pointed out that there was a number of safety and completion issues that we were trying to address. I had the construction team there. In fact, Richard Haydes from the Jersey City Sewage Authority was there. Municipal Utility Authority was there. And he explained that there's a sanitary sewer being built down West Side Avenue that would go to this location and other locations that in service of all those other locations, and that the line was in pretty bad shape. They didn't know when it was going to fail, but it was going to fail at some point. And with all that discussion, we instituted some kind of, we spoke to all our contractors, the GC, the subcontractors, came up with a proposal as to how to deal with the construction. It's almost finished. The building is up. And now we're dealing with, and this is an ancillary issue. This is really not the issue before you. The issue before you was the amendment to the redevelopment plan, which does not concern this part of the property. So that was one issue that we dealt with in order to be able to give you some kind of comfort as to what was going on in the area. The second issue was the deli. My client tried desperately and very hard to come to an arrangement with Natalie Resegno, I think is his name. And apparently in the middle of it, I even showed you a lease that was not signed, but prepared and ready to be signed. And that lease was never signed. What we did get was a letter from Mr. Resegno saying that for personal reasons, he's decided not to sign any lease and not to stay at that location. He's apparently, I mean, I can't speak for him, but he's moving out of that location. What he wanted was a 6-month lease to get himself, I guess, ready to go. And my client did exactly that. He went into a 6-month lease, no rent for that period of time. And apparently he's moving. The reporting is that he'll move to the Miss America Diner. I don't know whether that'll work or not work. My client is looking for a restaurant to occupy space that's available. And that's the issue with respect to, what was going on at that point in time. So you have before you the amendment, and I'm here just to urge you to vote yes on that amendment. It's not a complicated amendment. It's something that we filed almost 2 years ago. In March, it'll be 2 years. It's an amendment that allows for a project on the east side of vacated West Side Avenue. Where's that? If you know where the Puccini building is, it's that side of the street. There's a Sikh temple at the end of West Side Avenue, at the very end. And then there's the property that my client owns. And the project there has been discussed with the planning division many times. We've had more than 7 community meetings. We provided as much information as we could, and planning decided that it was a worthwhile project and so recommended it to the planning board. The planning board heard the same testimony. He heard the architect, engineer, everybody that they normally hear, and also is recommending it to you. I've heard this council on a number of occasions say, we're not planners. I understand that you're not planners. And the recommendations of the planning board are taken seriously. And I'm telling you here, and I'm arguing to you now, that you should take it seriously here. In this case, I think they really looked at it in depth. So there's an affordable housing obligation with this. Affordable housing obligation kicks in whenever you amend the redevelopment plan to add more units, and that's what's happening here. This amendment didn't need to be an amendment. It could have been submitted early on with the first application that was approved. And that was done in December of 2024, a year ago, the first one. However, the planning division asked us to hold up because they were concerned about a particular part of the project that we were thinking about. Let me tell you what they were concerned about. They were concerned about the plaza or the piazza. My client likes to call it a piazza. I'm Italian, so I could sympathize with that, but he calls it a piazza. It's a public space. Okay, and he was concerned about the planning division was concerned about making sure that the developer built that piazza before they got a certificate of completion for any other property that was being built. And my client readily agreed. And there was a bond required. It's in the redevelopment plan. The historic preservation requirements, it's in the redevelopment plan amendment. It's all there. They would not have recommended it to the planning board, and the planning board, I assume, would not have recommended it to you if all those bases were not covered. So,
Did you email any of the council members with your intentions of trying to untable this?
yes, I emailed it to Council President, Mr. Gallagher, Brittany Murray, but not to individual council people. I left it to them.
Okay. What area is this?
This is, Gene.
Oh.
First of all, people on the planning board aren't professional planners, okay? Let's get it straight, all right? That's number one. Number two, I was at the meeting. I was at that meeting and I walked out with several other people, and the people there are really ticked off with this developer. And they're ticked off about Ercolanos being demolished. And so you say you had a meeting, but that meeting, that developer did not satisfy the community. In fact, he ticked them off and they're furious about it. And the people down there are dead against this whole project. And I think he should come back, sit down and talk intelligently to the people there and stop this. They ruined most of the Journal Square in our area. Now they're trying to ruin that area down there. And the people do not want it. You know, like you were at the meeting and that meeting was an embarrassment.
Thank you. Sean.
Before I ask for a motion to adjourn, I just wanted to inform the council that we'll have to invert the order of business. We'll have to approve the resolutions before we approve the claims. With that being said, I'll just ask to invert the order. On that, may I have a motion to adjourn at 5:41 PM? Motion was made by Councilperson Gilmore.
Second.
Second by Councilperson Saleh. All in favor of the motion to adjourn at 5:41 PM? All council members present by acclamation, please say aye.
Aye.
We are out of here at 5:41 PM. Thank you so much, everyone present and everyone watching at home. Remember, teamwork makes the dream work. Have a great rest of the day and stay safe.
Tired? Because I got Joyce on one side. It's like, shut up, shut up.